All right, welcome to the post-fight podcast of UFC 215. This is the day after, and we thought, I don't know how long we're going to keep this podcast going in terms of like doing it all the time. I think I only do it for just big events.
Because those fights are expensive.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to do it for fight nights. I definitely want to do it for Garbrandt versus Dillashaw.
Yeah.
I really want to do that one because that's one is a stack card. But this podcast is brought to you by On It. If you want to get a free 30 count bottle of New Mood or a free 28 bottle count of my favorite pre-workout supplement, Shroom Tech Sport, go to honoringconquer.com/onit and get yourself optimized. Click the link that you want, and it's only T's and C's apply. I wanted to use that. T's and C's be in terms and conditions. And if you shop on Amazon, please go to honoringconquer.com, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, click our Amazon banner, and we get a little kickback on your purchases that you make. Okay? So every little bit counts. Go straight towards this podcast. Like I said, we're talking about UFC 215. First of all, the flyweight division, the Demetrius Johnson fight, cancelled due to illness. I was thinking about this before. Ray Borg pulling out because he was sick.
Yeah, and he missed weight his last two fights before this, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I feel like whenever we have these podcasts, I need to check my facts before we come into it. I should probably start doing that. But I think I saw somewhere that he missed weight for two of his last fights.
Missing weight is a big to-do with me. Especially if you're at that high level, you shouldn't be missing weight.
I 100% agree.
I just feel like if you're getting paid, like, I mean, the fighter that was actually in here, who we're going to talk about soon, Tyson Pedro, this was his first fight that he dedicated all of his time to, because before that he had a full-time job. But if this is your full-time job and you're in the UFC or you're fighting at a high level, getting paid to fight, to compete, you shouldn't be missing weight.
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
You should be this is your job now, and one of your job requirements is to make weight to do the fight. I think people forget that it's a job.
Yeah.
Like it's your job.
I mean, I'm sure the athletes don't. And I mean, I'll give the benefit of the doubt that like things happen, you know, maybe you got sick during your camp, maybe you got injured and you couldn't train the way that you normally do. And I get that, but like last night, I feel like whenever we watch UFC fights, I watch these people like go to war, and I know a lot of them, you know, do have jobs. And I just said to myself, man, I would have loved to have been a professional athlete. And I'm not saying it's easy. I know it's hard, but I was training for the Olympics and had a full-time job. Like, that was miserable. That was hard. So I'm just trying to imagine like what that life is like, where you get to dedicate your every waking moment to that one thing you're passionate about. So whenever I hear people like not making weight, to me, it's like, are you that passionate?
You pulled a sickie.
Yeah.
You've called in. You wanted to take a day off.
Yeah. I mean, and even like me, like my last fight in Pittsburgh, I couldn't even use my right hand for a majority of the camp. I made weight and I had a full-time job.
Yeah.
So I think I got sick too, actually.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I straight up can't remember that. That was so long ago. And you're now fighting on November, the same card a year later.
Maybe. Nobody will step up.
Well, someone's not trying hard enough to look for an opponent. That person's going to remain nameless. But that person is not trying hard enough, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Whatever. It is what it is. But we're not here to talk about that. We're going to jump straight into this card. Okay? We're going to jump straight into it. The first fight of the night was Jeremy Stevens versus Gilbert Melendez. I had one of my notes, and I said Stevens' Twitter name is @Lil Heathen.
Lil,
not even little. It's just Lil Heathen. I think you should definitely change that.
Lil Heathen. It's because it rhymes.
I felt bad for Bruce Buffer because he had to say Lil.
Lil.
Jeremy, Lil Heathen Stevens. He couldn't even. He had to chuck grammar out the door.
I kind of like it.
I do not like it,
I
but that's
know.
okay. If you can like it, but it's just silly. Lil Heathen 88 or something like that.
I can't remember.
That's like an MSN Messenger name.
He's an On It pro.
He is an On It pro.
Mhm.
That's right. So I just shouldn't talk shit on him. Coming right out the gate. Holy shit.
That was a great fight.
I thought that was a phenomenal fight.
I enjoyed that fight.
I enjoyed that too. So I was reading some comments on this entire event after the fight, after the event.
Did people not like this fight?
People said it was boring.
Oh my gosh.
No,
that was a rough crowd. Edmonton, get your shit together. You're bad crowd.
Yeah, man.
They were booing everybody.
I hate it when people boo. I hate it to death when people boo. No one booed for this fight though. It was just later on in the main event, but which we'll get to soon. But I loved this fight so much. He was utilizing Stevens was utilizing that leg kick so freaking bad, and it sucks because so Gilbert is southpaw and Stevens is orthodox. So his power leg, well, his front leg is just perfect, prime picking.
Was he southpaw?
Melendez?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was southpaw.
Oh. I am so confused now from doing the bang system.
Wait, was he southpaw?
No, he wasn't, because it was his left leg that was all banged up.
No.
Yeah. I'll look it up. I'll look up a picture.
Look it up real quick.
But keep talking.
He was kicking Melendez's leg to death for the entire first round. You could tell it was swelling already. Like it started puffing up. I straight up thought he snapped it. I straight up thought he snapped it.
It was nasty.
It was on the shin. It was shin to shin. It wasn't even above the knee. Like that little part between the knee and the quad. It wasn't even there. It was just on the shin, and it swelled up so fucking bad. He couldn't even put power on it. Like he couldn't put his weight on it at all. He couldn't do any of that shit. I'm just making sure that this is recording. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, he couldn't even do it. Couldn't put weight on it. I felt so bad for him. To a point where he dropped. So in the first round, you're landing heavy, hard leg kicks. Melendez is not even checking that shit at all. You can notice that he was starting to limp. And Stevens aggressively with the leg kicks and made Melendez collapse twice in that first round. I thought it was done. I thought it was over.
It was brutal to watch.
It was bad. Every time Melendez dropped to the ground, I was like, oh shit, referee's going to come in and stop this thing. But no, referee kept it going. I think that was... It gets to a point where I'm like, you want the fight to keep going, but gosh darn it, you want it to stop.
I remember, he's not southpaw, because remember, he kept trying to do southpaw, but he couldn't figure out how to do southpaw.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out which one was which.
I was trying to find pictures. There aren't really that many pictures of the fight, but I think that's why maybe you wrote that down in your notes, because he wouldn't go to southpaw, and his coaches kept telling him, or his corner was saying you need to switch stance.
Yeah,
and he was trying to, but he couldn't make it work.
Yeah.
He looked super awkward. He looked like me trying to do southpaw.
And that's why, man, you got to learn how to check those kicks, man. Learn to check those kicks. You can't eat those. I mean, you can eat a couple, but you can't eat all of them, man. It sucks. I'm telling you got to do it.
Just every kick after those very first few, it was just like, oh god, we're waiting for that moment when he wasn't going to get back up.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh gosh, it was just painful to watch when he went back to his corner in the later rounds. You can tell Melendez was in so much pain. Yeah. He was just trying to hide it from the corner doctors. Oh my god, I'm fucking in pain. He just fucking just ignored it.
Man, well, and his corner was just trying so hard to get him going, mentally. Yeah. Oh man, that was brutal. Yeah. That was brutal.
Well, even going into the second round, he'd still, because we knew that he had to change his stance. Yeah. That's the only way he's going to make it through this fight at that time, before not knowing the outcome. So entering the second round, hasn't changed his stance at all.
Yeah.
And we didn't see Jeremy engage in that either. We didn't see Jeremy engage in that leg. And I think at the end, in hindsight, I think that was definitely out of respect.
Oh, I think so.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I think especially towards the end, like, I feel like he purposely wasn't really wailing on him as much because he even like hyped up the crowd for him at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Which like was nice, but I also like, I feel like if I were Melinda, I would have been so bummed.
Yeah, I would have been so bummed. I would have said, don't do that for me.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, no, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that fight.
Yeah, and once Melendez did change stance in this round, you could tell he wasn't confident with it.
Yeah.
And we noticed that he was only changing stance, like go back to his natural position, to only throw.
Yeah.
Like he was only doing it to throw.
Yeah.
But even then, Jeremy would see that anyway.
Yeah. His hands were great too.
Jeremy's, oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, that hook, that right hook of his.
Man, that was power.
I enjoyed that. I did. I enjoyed that fight.
That was a banger to open up the event with.
I just feel like, I don't know, MMA fans like drive me nuts. If it's not like a KO, they're like, oh, that was a boring fight.
Yeah.
Like,
well, unfortunately, it's how they've marketed it from day one.
I guess, but like you would think they would evolve a little.
Well, even the intro song has been the same since when it was single digits.
Yeah.
Rubbing about the pieces.
Like, it's funny because I do social media for On It, and I posted Jeremy Stevens today, and like the one comment on that picture is someone being like, who the fuck is this guy? And it's just like, okay, rookie fan, like your bandwagonness is showing.
Yeah, I reckon.
It's so dumb.
But that was a funny moment. That was definitely a funny moment. Going into round 3, you can tell Melendez was in so much pain, but keeps a great straight face. I thought that was a great third round, though. I thought Stevens kept his composure throughout the entire fight.
Yeah.
There was many times where he could have blitzed him.
Yeah.
And he knew that he was in pain from the leg. But
Yeah.
I think his post-fight interview, not so much, but still, I thought he could have blitzed him at any point if he really wanted to.
I agree.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I think he kind of knew that he wasn't going to get hurt by continuing the fight and that he had the decision. And I know they say, like, don't leave it in the judge's hands. But
you could tell.
Yeah, I mean,
you could tell he won that one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So maybe, it was just a decision he wanted. I don't know.
You can't collapse a couple of times. You can't collapse like 4 or 5 times out of a leg kick and not expect to win.
Yeah. And I guess like I can't remember what made us say this, but like I feel like fighters have changed a lot, and I feel like maybe that's why these boring statements keep coming up. Like fighters don't want to like kill. I mean, I feel like they want to kill each other, but at the same time, like in that situation, he's like, I don't want to kill this guy. Like I don't want to ruin his life. Like I've clearly won this fight.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's not what he's thinking. But it kind of felt like that was the thought he had.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
No, definitely. All right. Fight number 2. Latifi versus Pedro.
I kept wanting to call Pedro Latifi.
Well, so if you don't know who Tyson Pedro is, he's this big, jacked up American Samoan fighter who lives in Australia. And he has the most Hispanic sounding name in the world.
He's at Wink now.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's correct. Tyson Pedro. Big 205 brown guy, covered it in traditional Samoan tattoos. But his opponent is from the Ukraine, I think.
Is he? Because I think he trains in Sweden. I think he had this. What's
the blue and the yellow cross?
I'm pretty sure it's
Sweden. Yeah.
Let me look it up.
Anyway, yeah. Let's check out. Let's fact check that
Flags.
One. But anyway, his last name is Latifi,
which
is the most Pacific island name in the world. Sounds so Pacific, and I was getting so confused with the two. Every time they said Latifi, I thought they were talking about Pedro, and every time they were talking about Pedro,
Swedish.
Yeah, okay. He was talking about Latifi. Anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, that's based on those names. Most Hispanic and most Pacific Island name.
Yeah.
Pedro came out to Mariah Carey's Fantasy.
I loved it.
I thought that was great with his bucket hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, living it up, dancing on the aisle. I thought that was sick.
But I did say anyone that dances that much is not going to win.
Who said that?
I said that.
Did you?
Yeah. But then Latifi came out to Eye of the Tiger. Did he come out to Eye of the Tiger? And
I was no. He came out to the Rocky movie theme song.
That's right. And I was like, never mind. That guy's not winning either. But then he did.
Well, someone had to win.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some fighters in the past who have come out dancing and stuff and they've won.
Yeah.
I can name 3 off the top of my head. But in Japan, they go crazy for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Israel Adesanya, one of them, comes out dancing.
I like him though, so.
Oh,
no,
I'm kidding.
I'm kidding.
If you don't know who Israel Adesanya is, look him
You should.
up. He is the future. He's here right now. Not here in the room, but
not here.
He is. He's a great MMA fighter, boxer, Muay Thai competitor. He's got it all. Yeah, walks out to Rocky theme song. Latifi. So the notes that I got for this was basically Latifi won all rounds. I think Pedro was trying to look for an opening, but was too hesitant at some points. And even when he was hesitant, he would not screw up because it's not. He didn't screw up at all. It was just bodies moving in the cage, and when you want to set up something, another body moves a different way that you don't want it to, and then boom, the combination doesn't work.
Yeah.
But when that would happen, Latifi would rely heavily on his wrestling, and I think that's what won the fight for him.
I agree with that. Do you think it's just because he's so young? Because Pedro, yeah, he's super young.
He's 25.
Yeah, but he's not that far into his career, correct?
Well, I mean, there's going to be one fight that we're going to talk about, and he's not even far in his career, and he's soaring.
Well, that's just some people are creeps.
Creeps. Some people like crepes.
I love crepes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that could be very, very true. I mean, he still needs to, blossom. He's living in Albuquerque. He trains at Winklejohn, which is in Albuquerque, the worst place in America. It probably is. I think it is. Definitely.
I need to give it another try and not get robbed.
Maybe. I would give it a try, but not take a lot of things.
I would give it a try and not stay anywhere near where we were.
I would give it a try, but get a body purse.
I would give it a try, but want to only go to Wink and maybe stay with someone we know there.
I would definitely want to stay in a hotel, though.
Maybe.
By the airport.
Definitely not by the airport. That's where we were last time.
And that was fine.
We got robbed like 5 minutes away from our hotel.
Yeah, but that's at McDonald's.
That's
where yucky people hang out.
It's not a good area.
McDonald's in general is not a good area to hang out.
It's not good.
You don't want to go to McDonald's because that place is full of idiots.
Your mom was the manager of a
Yeah,
McDonald's.
but McDonald's in New Zealand is so different compared to America.
That's fair.
In New Zealand, you could happily take your entire family, no matter what demographic you're on the pay scale. You could take them here, have a great time. But when you go to McDonald's here in America, you know exactly who are going to be there. Drunks, dropkicks, dum-dums, prozzies, prozzies looking for blozzies.
No.
Butt stuff.
What?
On to the next fight.
Anyways, on to the next fight.
Cejudo versus Hayes, the flyweights. I'm going to be very, very honest about this. At this point, I asked Megan if we should take the dogs out because I did not mind missing this one. I thought it was going to be very boring. Honestly, I thought it was going to be boring.
Yeah.
But it surprised me. It surprised the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
I loved that fight so much.
Yeah.
Do you remember the fight?
Yeah.
Cejudo versus Hayes? You don't. You fucking don't, do you? The Olympic wrestler?
Yeah, I remember.
The black belt Brazilian?
Yes, I remember. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
I love this fight for many reasons. I loved how fast paced it was.
Mm-hmm.
I loved how small they were because they look like little rabbits.
What the fuck?
They look like little rabbits, like just going fast, like super duper fast. Every strike, every like movement, even when they were standing still, they were still moving. I loved this fight.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I liked it.
This gave me, not hope, but it gave me an interest in the flyweight division. This definitely did.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
This fight, one fight alone, and Cejudo winning this gave me. I guess this is why I need to watch more, but it made me really interested in the flyweights.
Well, he's number 2, isn't he?
He is not number 2.
Oh, why did I think he was ranked number 2?
Oh wait, who am I? He may be. I mean, Ray Borg was ranked number 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore.
I can't remember. Now the ranking system's a little fucked up anyway.
No, because isn't it like champion, then number 1 contender, and number 2?
Maybe.
Isn't that how the rankings go?
I don't think so, but I mean, I could be wrong.
Oh, I could be wrong, but I think I want to say I thought he was number 2 in line for a shot.
Yeah. He very well could be.
Do you think, depending on what happens when they finally do get to have that fight, do you think he'll be next to get a shot?
I don't know.
Because he's only been doing MMA for what?
4 years.
4 years.
And this is the kid that I was talking about before.
Yeah.
Only 4 years, and he already faced Demetrius, and he at that point he was only doing MMA for 3 years.
I guess we talked about this last night. What do you think is the number one thing to come to MMA from? So obviously we're going to see more and more athletes coming who just have done MMA, right? Like we even see it with the kids at On It. You know, you have kids who are already training in multiple disciplines. So, 5-10 years from now, you're going to see people who never focused on one thing. So, but right now that's not the way it is. So what's the number one thing you think to come to MMA from?
Wrestling.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
I agree.
Wrestling.
Because they're crazy.
Fuck yeah.
Like BJJ is obviously gives you a lot of like body awareness and it's great when you go to ground and so on and so forth. But there's just like a certain crazy that comes with wrestling that
I fucking agree.
Like that it's a mental thing, and I just think that. I think that is, I would say it would be BJJ if it weren't for wrestling existing.
I think so too. I'm not slagging off jiu-jitsu either.
No, not at all.
I'm just saying that out of everything that's on the table, having a solid wrestling base, I think, and because of their training ethic behind it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
And the tried and tested programs that most wrestling kids or camps go through, because it's so, like, do 1,000 squats.
Yeah, it's like Soviet era, like.
Yeah, it's just so gritty. Like, do 1,000 squats right now. Like, okay, sweet, 1,000 squats.
Why are we doing this? Why not?
Yeah, exactly. It's that nonsensical training mythology.
It reminds me of rowing.
Yeah.
Like you just had 4 races and your coach is going to tell you to go do a 6-mile recovery run that you have to be back for, like you have to run a 8-minute mile.
Yeah. And that's the work ethic. And that's the work ethic I just don't think and again, I don't know that jiu-jitsu has. I just don't think jiu-jitsu has that.
I think it's just like jiu-jitsu is still compared to wrestling. It's a young sport, especially wrestling, because wrestling was like the first Olympic sport. But so I think that they didn't have those old training methods that a lot of wrestlers still use.
Yeah.
That do not make sense, but just breed like mental crazy.
Yeah.
Just crazy. It is, yeah.
And their bodies look like brick shit houses. Like the wrestlers. They're just all fucking muscular and jacked up.
Yeah, it's just because they've been beat down since they were like 4.
Yeah, exactly. They just fucking no quit.
So.
In their bodies.
Again, not to say that BJJ isn't amazing. We have a lot of awesome friends that do amazing things with jiu-jitsu. But it's just, it's like, that's like smart. It's like BJJ is a very smart sport, but wrestling is obviously smart too, but it's like that. There's like a special little like crazy.
Yeah, I think
that you
so
have
too.
to flip to succeed at, especially like when you start getting into the higher levels of it. Like he didn't go to college. He was like, no, I want to go to the Olympic Training Center. I want to go to the Olympics. Like that's a crazy thing to do.
Yeah.
That's a guy that you don't want to get in a cage with, because he's going to do whatever he can mentally to beat you.
And I think, I mean, and Cejudo, you know, Dan Henderson and Ronda Rousey, I mean, in terms of Olympic level training.
Yeah.
And I've always said it, like, her work ethic is Olympic level.
Yeah.
The other people, apart from Sarah McMahon, maybe even Kim Carmouche, just not next to it. I just don't think so. You can't beat that Olympic level training, because that's all they are for the Olympics. Eat, train, fucking sleep, repeat, do the same deal. I mean, you know the deal.
Yeah.
But of course, if you're stuck with a shit trainer, then you're going to have shit outcome.
Well, and I think, you know, I think everyone knows that that's what happened to Rousey. It happens a lot, I think, in any Olympic sport in particular, because you do get these athletes that it's not that you go into autopilot, but you're kind of trained to not question authority when it comes to your coaches.
Yeah.
And your like blind loyalty. And even I know it's very different, but when I was rowing, like, you don't have the choice to say no.
Yeah.
And like I remember it being sent on runs that literally made no sense. But at the end of the day, now that I'm out of the system, I can think to myself, like, I honestly think that the coaches were almost trying to weed athletes out by not hurting them, but if you couldn't hang, you couldn't hang.
Yeah.
So just like run them all into the ground. Whoever shows up on Monday, like, they still have a shot.
Yeah.
And I think unfortunately for Rhonda, that loyalty and that dedication got put in the wrong hands. But everyone knows that. That's old news. Anyways, back to what we were talking about.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think so too. I think a lot of coaches don't know. We're reaching out to her and go, hey, come to this camp. But her loyalty has said, no, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
And now she's going to be facing Charlotte Flair in the WWE, 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen.
We can talk about that after we make our way through the fight, okay?
No, we don't have to. But yeah, I thought that was a great fight.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Cejudo
it.
versus Hayes. I thought that was a great fight. Loved it. And Cejudo wins by right hand by KO in the second round. Strong right hand down the pipe. And the next fight was a co-main event. It was Neil Magny versus Rafael Dos Anjos. This was a great fight. Dos Anjos going into a different weight class. Neil Magny on the up and up. Was it worth co-main event spot? I don't know. What's going on?
Ollie's having bad dreams. Keep talking.
Ollie.
There you go, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Ollie's having some bad dreams right now. Sometimes you have to wake her up in the funk.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. And real quick, Dos Anjos wins this fight by arm triangle in the first round. And Megan said, take Joe Rogan's quote, he leg kicked him and smushed him. Which was basically right. They started standing, and Dos Anjos just kicked out his front leg. Magny fell to the ground, and Dos Anjos just jumped on him, just smushed him, and then got him into position that he wanted and won it by submission.
It sounded so much better when Joe Rogan said it.
He he kicked him in the leg and smushed him. I thought, that was a great little co-main event, a little fight right there. It was a great fight. I'm excited to see what Dos Anjos does in that new division. And then we're now at the main event.
Dun, dun.
Nunes versus Shevchenko 2 for the bantamweight UFC bantamweight championship of the world. I was very excited for this fight. I was a little amped. I was ready for I was so ready for Shevchenko to win that belt. I was so ready for her to win, and I said, I said, I only want Shevchenko to win because of Muay Thai. She's a 17-time world Muay Thai champion, K1 champion. Well, you got some notes too?
Yeah, I'm just looking. Coach K from CSA did a really good write-up about this.
Ooh.
And I agree with his statements about it 100%. It is long, and
I have a feeling it's long.
No offense to Coach K, but he's like me and is a big fan of like run-on sentences and not capitalizing things. So I think probably he wrote it like he was thinking about it. So I don't think I could read it. I think I'd mess it up if I read it out loud.
Give me a look at it.
Oh
my gosh. But
basically, I'm sorry, did I just hijack what you were saying about the fight?
No. I was just basically saying I really wanted this. I loved that. I loved it so much. But I definitely think the wrong person won.
I agree.
We were talking about this last night. Effective striking, I definitely think was Valentina Shevchenko. I thought effective striking was definitely hers. Aggression, it was a toss-up between Nunes and Shevchenko. And I genuinely believe that the 5th round, that takedown, won the entire fight.
That's pretty much what Coach K said in his and this has kind of always been my thought. I feel like being a counter striker is super risky. Especially in MMA, because MMA is so like bloodthirsty and everything. So he basically was saying that Nunes was backing her up, and even though she was doing more damage and landing more strikes, at the end of the day, if you were to just watch the pattern of the fight, like she had her back to the cage the whole time, and while she was being aggressive in a counter striking stance, it just doesn't look as aggressive. So, and the thing is, in Muay Thai, like that patience and everything is applauded, right? Like there's patience in Muay Thai, but not in MMA. So at the end of the day, basically what he was saying is you can't play to the judges and assume that just because you strike as much or you strike more that the judges are going to give it to you, especially when things like takedowns exist and everything. So now I'm just running off of what Coach K said and adding my own thoughts, but sorry, Ollie's having bad dreams. Ollie, wake up.
Yeah. Should I read it? Or?
If you want to read it, go for it. But he's basically saying like, the takedowns were like kind of that period at the end of a sentence, and from the judge's standpoint, they saw Nunes marching her down. So even though she was the one landing the most strikes, at the end of the day, what the judges are seeing is Nunes kind of forcing her to land those strikes. So I could be totally wrong. And if anyone from CSA reads this and I hears this and I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But that was what I got from what Coach K wrote about it. And I agree. I guess it's so funny because I always get yelled at for not being patient, but I guess like counter striking scares me because then you're hoping that someone doesn't see that as you not acting first.
Yeah.
So.
I just that is the thing, because patience is huge. It's like exactly what you said. Patience is huge in Muay Thai. But yeah, I agree. I think Nunes was just being just a touch more aggressive, and it didn't matter.
It annoyed me too in her post-fight interview, and she was like, I wanted to show everybody that I could go 5 rounds.
Yeah, that annoyed me.
I was like, so you basically drew out the fight just to show people that you could go 5 rounds? Like,
but even then, I mean, in my notes, I just noticed that I just said in the first round, definitely a feeling out process with both. Nunes got comfortable with her range. Coming into round 2, Shevchenko opening up with a lot harder, a lot in the later part of the round. Counter game in the 3rd round. Counter game has been a great asset for Shevchenko's arsenal. But I feel like Nunes, it's tough because I just said it, but she was marching forward, being the aggressor, but she was only doing it to a point. because she knew she wanted to prove the point to go the distance.
Yeah, like she wasn't.
Maybe I don't know.
She was like marching forward, but she really wasn't forcing anything.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't really. I mean, a lot of people said it was a boring fight, and it wasn't. I didn't think it was a boring fight because I appreciated what was happening.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can see like, we know Nunes can do more than that.
Yeah.
And so it was annoying to me that she got the win when like she clearly wasn't trying. Like she obviously was trying. I don't know. It just
it's a tough little because you can. I totally got what you're saying. Like she wasn't trying, but obviously she was because she's in there.
Yeah.
But you can tell that she was holding back the potential that she does have
to prove that she can go 5 rounds.
Yeah, exactly, to prove a point. But it's like, is that the game? Like, did your coaches tell you to do that? And is that worth the risk? I mean, obviously we know now what happened, but at the point of that being a choice, is it worth it?
I mean, I guess that's a good choice to make, though, if you know that you're going up against someone who's a counter striker, who's not going to take the initiative themselves. So I guess like if you do want to prove you can go 5 rounds and you want a safe win, that's a great person to do it off of.
Yeah, that's true.
Just command the distance and command the pattern of the fight and land a couple of takedowns, and congratulations, you keep your belt without really much happening.
Yeah.
But I guess that the problem is, as a female fighter, you obviously always want it to be exciting in some way, because female or women's MMA is just so, like, guys just love to say it's not exciting. And for me, it's just like, that's a bummer, because this could have been a really amazing exchange, I think. Yeah,
and that's where the boos were coming in heavy.
I think everybody really wanted to see those two go to war.
Yeah.
And instead they kind of saw, I don't know. I know that you think that there won't be another fight. I would love to see them fight again, because I think it would be a different story now.
The thing is, here's the thing. I don't think it's going to go for a third fight. Reasons being, number one, straight off the gate, if Shevchenko won, then obviously there would be a rubber match. But because Nunes has won twice, there won't be that third. However, because it ended in such a way that a lot of people thought that Shevchenko was going to win, which you would call that controversy, there could be a third fight going forward. But another reason why I don't think that there is going to be a third fight is because a lot of people may have thought that fight was boring. So do they want to see another third fight that would be quote unquote boring?
But I think Shevchenko, I can never say her name right, sorry. I think that was a rough lesson for her to learn. Because she's pretty, I mean, how long has she been doing MMA at this point?
Since she was a kid, and now she's...
No, she was
MMA. Oh,
yeah.
I have no idea. I know she was fighting since she was a kid. And
yeah.
Now she's 29.
Yeah, because I just wonder if maybe she's gotten by keeping that counter-striking patient, carrying that over, and maybe now she's learned, and she was pissed. She was
pissed. She was so pissed off in all of her broken English.
Yeah. Well, they're both not that good for that. So
I got the belchy. I take that belchy home.
I don't know. The thing is, like, I really like both fighters. So that was, I think, what was a bummer to me. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Nunes. She won me over. I really like her. But yeah, I was just bummed because it wasn't the fight that I expected to see. But I guess that's me having expectations.
Yeah, that's both of us having expectations.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did.
I was wanting to see that slick Muay Thai coming out. Just annihilation, but that's okay.
Yeah, and Nunes is just so freaking powerful. Like, I really wanted to see that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And the thing is if they don't fight again, who's going to fight Nunes? Who's next?
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, right.
Sarah McMahon. No, she lost that fight. She lost that fight. Misha Tate.
She retired.
I know. She's coming out of retirement to prove a point that their first fight was lucky.
I don't think so.
No, I really don't know who's next. like straight up there.
Yeah.
It would be a tough fucking picking of the barrel.
They gotta get some fresh blood up in there.
Man. But who's out there? Not Holly Holm. Holly Holm's out
I'm sure
like
there's
that.
girls out there. There's girls in the tough right now.
The atom weights.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The atom weights, they're going to come up the bantamweight. They're going to eat a whole bunch of Popeyes. No, yeah. And that was the card. I thought that was a great card.
I enjoyed all the fights last night.
There was some fights that surprised me.
Yeah.
There was a fight that I was excited to see. I thought it was great. And because we didn't watch it at a bar, I think that's why I really loved it. Not just the card in general, but just like I was comfortable. I could hear the commentary.
Mm-hmm.
I can be involved in the process. You know, I was happy to watch it in peace and quiet and like just really sit down to see it, to experience it.
At one point, I had my cucumbers because I'm cutting weight, and so that's my snack, and a puppy on my lap, and a blanket, and no makeup. And I looked over at you, and I said, "This is great."
Yeah, this is it. So for those of you who are watching this on YouTube and you see me looking into the camera, I'm actually trying to see if the GoPro is still recording. So if you see me doing a little bit of this, it's me squinting to see if it's still recording, and it is. But yeah, okay. Let's break down this entire card. We're gonna do
Okay.
We're gonna do this. This is what we're gonna do.
Oh God.
Most handsome person of the night.
Okay.
Favorite move of the night. Fight of the night. And what's a fourth one? Most handsome, move of the night, fight of the night. What's another goofy one? Funniest of the night.
Best post-fight interview.
No.
I don't know.
Let's go.
I was just trying.
Funniest. Yeah, let's go funniest.
Okay.
Okay, let's do the most handsome person. You go and then I'll go. Most handsome person of the night.
Pedro, because his tattoos were intense.
Pedro.
Plus, we all know I like those round boys. But no, his like you were even saying it like, man, those tattoos are crazy.
Oh yeah, those tattoos were sick. I want one.
Yeah, that's actually I'm voting 100% for his tattoos. I just kept like during the fight, I kept looking at them. I was like, man, that is a lot of ink.
That's so much.
So that's honestly the only reason I'm voting for him. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. My number one is Jeremy Stevens.
Toss up. He's a very handsome man.
He's a handsome man. He had a nice haircut. He came into the
His
fight.
pretty eyes.
Yeah, he's got very nice eyes. Beard was on point. He missed he had to postpone his wedding for this fight, which I think is such a savage move. Well done for the fiance as well. Yeah, being so understanding, going, yep, you go make that money. Like, you go make that money. We'll get married next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my pick, Jeremy Stevens. Okay, most funniest person of the night. Funniest. Someone who made you laugh a lot.
It has to go to Pedro again for that walkout.
Yeah, I agree.
That was hysterical.
Yeah, he was like miming the song, smooth flowing,
dancing with his bucket hat on.
Yeah, his stupid ass bucket hat. Just 100%. It. Yeah, I think I have to agree. Tyson Pedro, number one, most funniest of the night. Move of the night.
I mean, I guess it has to go to Nunes' takedowns, because that's basically what won her the fight. Was it exciting? No.
Yeah. But
obviously it was a big deal.
Yep. I'm going to go with Cejudo's knockout of Hayes.
I was going to say the kick and smush.
No, that's the wrong fight.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know.
The kick and smush, no. But that was effective. That was like a video game trip up. But no, Henry Cejudo's right hand to finish Hayes. That was just an absolute move. Great move to win him that fight. Okay, and fight of the night.
I don't know.
Really? Fight of the night?
I just enjoyed it.
You just enjoyed it? One that made you like, whoa.
I mean, the main card was really boring, but I just have a special place in my heart for the girl fights.
Oh, okay.
and
Fair
I
enough.
always get hyped for them.
Well, mine was Cejudo versus Hayes. That because it caught me by surprise. I was prepared. I was okay to miss that fight because I thought it was going to be boring and I thought I wasn't going to like it. But it surprised me pleasantly. I'm glad I watched the fight. I'm glad I didn't take the pups out for their last walk of the night. Yeah, I thought that was the fight of the night for me.
I changed my vote. I think Jeremy Stevens.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat for that fight.
That was a good. Oh yeah, that was
super
fight.
exciting.
That was like highs, lows.
Yeah.
Yeah, points to it where you're like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and just yeah. I mean, just everything about it was. I enjoyed that. It was like a. I don't know. It was just super dramatic.
It was dramatic, wasn't it?
Yeah, just like him falling down and getting back up. Like you couldn't help but be like impressed by that. And then like Jeremy Stevens was just doing work, and that's probably my favorite fight of the night.
Just going forward, and you're like, oh, come on, what's gonna happen now?
Yeah,
that would be my second favorite.
Humanity.
Yeah, but yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
great fight. Great event. I'm excited for the next UFC. Not 216. I think it's 217 that I would like to do another one of these. Because 216 is a little on the boring side.
Who's on that card? I can't remember.
It's not even a championship fight.
I was just looking at the website the other day and I forget already.
Shit. I gotta go have a look at it real quick. I don't want to watch any of the fight nights though. Don't want to watch any of those because, if anything, the only one that's remotely interesting is Rockhold's comeback.
Pittsburgh, isn't that next week?
That's in Pittsburgh. Yeah, that isn't next week.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. UFC 2.
One of the fight nights, the one in Poland, Cerrone's on it, and so is Jody. So we got some on it people on that card.
Oh, okay. I take that back. 216 could be good.
Who is it?
Ferguson versus Tony Ferguson, the Hawaiian, versus Kevin Lee for the interim belt. That actually could be dang well good. Verdun versus Lewis, the Black Knight, Black Magic, or something like that. I think that's his fight name. Shit. Yeah, that'll be a fucking good one. I just realized that my internet's not going.
The worst. When you're not using Wi-Fi.
Fuck. But yeah, no, I definitely want to see that Garbrandt versus thing because they're both, because of Bang Muay Thai, and Garbrandt is an honor athlete, so it's just so weird. But yeah, I'm very excited for that fight. I can't wait to see it. We'll do another one of these for that specific Pacific event, not specific Pacific. Anything you want to add, Megan? What did you think overall of the fight, like the event
Last night?
No, the night before, of course.
No, it was great. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed not being at a bar. That was great.
Same here. I'm glad we went to the bar. I'm glad I wasn't uncomfortable on those bullshit bar stools, and I'm glad that we didn't waste our money on bullshit food.
It's delicious. Food is delicious. I just can't eat any of it right now.
You just rack up more money than you actually want to.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, we didn't buy a lot of snacks, and the pay-per-view that we bought was $50.
We didn't buy a lot of snacks because I'm not eating.
Well, no, because we had
I'm
a lot of food.
I'm kidding.
Here. Yeah. Well, because we had a lot of food here anyway.
Yeah.
So I was glad that we didn't waste our money on bullshit stuff. Anyway, we're just rambling now. Okay, this podcast is over. Yeah, if you want some free On It stuff, the free 30 bottle of New Mood, the daily stress and mood support supplement, or the free 28 count bottle of Shroom Tech Sport, go to honorandconquer.com/onit, click on the free product, which one you want. I'm not even joking. They're giving this to you for free, and all you have to pay for is shipping, and it's only available in the United States. Okay. And if you do your shopping on Amazon like everyone else kind of does, please support the show by going to honorandconquer.com, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, click the Amazon banner, and we get a little bit of a kickback on every purchase that you make. Okay, bye-bye.